Yeah, I saw the main event match, and obviously you see these two women working. And going back to Carmella, I think that people should just send that match to Carmella and just go, in case you're wondering why you don't have a job. Just like, and that's not even mean. Like, it's just the truth. Like, it's just like, they didn't want me because I'm a 40-year-old mom with a face that looks like a sleep paralysis monster. No, she does.
No.
Do you know when people draw those pictures of like the sleep paralysis monsters, or oh no, you know what? You'd be the perfect guy to ask this.
Oh my
What
God.
is the what are like the Lord creatures in like Native American culture where like they're out in the woods? Are they like, is it like a Wendigo or something like that?
Yeah, Wendigo, bro.
Yeah, she's like a Wendigo.
Oh my God, dude.
Wendigo is money. Like that's. And they're like, why?
No,
Well, she's
that's terrible.
Wendigo.
That's utterly terrible.
Can somebody real quick? Oh wait, no, this isn't Discord. I was going to say a Wendigo with a backwards hat, maybe. We could put that graphic.
No,
That real quick, like a moonwalking Wendigo.
Jesus Christ!
I will curse these lands with with an Italian accent.
So speaking of when to go, they knew when to go with I don't know, Stephanie Vacker and the double title here, because I don't think either of these ladies are going to be in NXT for too terribly long. I think Julia Gulia, you just bring her back and send her to the main roster whenever she's healed up. Vacker, I think you keep her there for a while, but they have to make history with one of these girls, because I don't think either of them will be like the longest reigning anything. So quickly they ushered in the North American women's title, and then along with it, this double champ title reign for Steph. There's a lot of women in that NXT division, so I thought obviously adding the second title would sort of break them up. But now they're all just chasing the same person, and that's totally fine, because now Stephanie can go up to the main roster sooner than later, because let's be honest, she's better than some of the ladies on the main roster right now. She can go up there and quickly and just they can be like, well, she made history here as the first double champ, and then Julia can just go up there too. I really don't even think they need to be in NXT. There's way too many women that are very skilled on that show. And so that match I thought was fantastic. Roadblock was better than Revolution in my opinion. I thought Booker T was amazing on commentary. I know a lot of people roast that throughout the night. You know, Graves and Joseph are good as well. The Hardys, they got huge pops. Also, Tony Khan could just be running theaters like this, and his shows would look packed like this, and they'd sound great and be awesome. But instead, he's like, no, 3,000 in a 23,000 seater, or else no show. You know, so
which that's it too. Like you have to accept the fact, like if the Hardy Boys are wrestling in a building like this, I think that you can let Beast Mortos, you know. I think the Beast Mortos can lower himself. Yeah,
his name's
I think
Frank Brian.
He's actually a lawyer.
His name's Frank.
He's a pretty good-looking guy too. Thanks, Meltzer. Nice orange hair.
Yeah, dude. The Hardys, though, TNA Tag Champs, brother, they defended them against Fraxium here and beat them, pinned them. So pretty crazy. I thought for sure Fraxium was going to win. And the match was pretty solid. It was fun, man. It was, I don't know, the Hardys, when they work WWE style, they're able to preserve like their moves, and you know, so it worked. Jordynne Grace fought Roxanne Perez. Perez didn't even get a proper entrance, and then she lost. I'm hoping she just stays on Raw. Like, she doesn't need to be NXT anymore. It's pointless. Juggernaut went over. What do you make of Jordynne Grace?
I am beside myself with the fact that I did not think for years. I mean, dude, for years, Jordynne Grace was maybe one of the most obnoxious people on the internet.
Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And we have to remember at the time, like, Jordynne Grace is a grown-ass woman at this point. This was 10-something years ago, where she was, you know, this young wrestler who got all this attention, and she didn't really know how to handle it. So it was kind of unfair for Jordynne Grace to catch some of the she did. Mm-hmm. But then again, she was also posting videos of herself pissing her pants while deadlifting, and then more than likely using that as a means to sell the clothing for money. But that's neither here nor there. But At this point, I mean, I'm just filling in the blanks.
Shooting from the hip, brother.
Yeah, well,
Filling me in, bro. I didn't know.
I could just lie and say good match. I didn't say it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Jordynne Grace has been really good since she's shown up on WWE TV. She was great in the Rumble the year previous. She did a great job in this one, and she looks more ready for TV than a lot of the girls they brought up there. I mean, if you had to ask me, are you taking Jordynne Grace or Ivy Nile? I'd say, who the Ivy Nile? You know, we're done with that. Like, see you later. There's the door. You know, we're in denial about keeping her on TV. No, I mean, Jordynne Grace is doing great work, man, and she's earned it. I mean, there's really kind of no arguing in this situation. She's wrestled on all the small shows. She's been around forever. And she's somebody that when you see her in the ring with these girls, you see her in a ring with somebody like Bayley, you go, that makes sense. Yep, you see her absolutely. In there you see her in there with the main roster girls, and you're not sitting there going, oh boy, ouch, that looks bad. No, she's ready to roll too.
So this match was really good. Jordynne botched at one point where she slipped on the middle rope, and then her leg got caught up or on the top rope or whatever, and then Roxanne just started working her legs over the whole time. So I don't know if they called that on the fly or what.
It's almost like wrestling. Yeah, that's weird.
And it was a solid match for sure. But Oba Femi took on Moose, and before this, you know, Undertaker walks up to, or like Moose is walking through the locker room, and then Undertaker's standing there, and he's like, "Look, I don't got to tell you what this means, you know, but hey, go out there and protect your yard, you know." This TNA coming over here, like, do what you got to do kind of thing. So Oba Femi, he gets a big reaction, Moose. And then for Moose, sorry, he comes out and they're all going Moose. And then for Femi, he comes out and they're all going, who? So it was really cool. The crowd was into it. Moose worked his ass off. He looks like he belongs in WWE. I mean, I don't know he's the X Division champ. So far, the NXT champ took out the X Division champ. There's going to be someone who holds the TNA title and the NXT title at the same time, or like the TNA and NXT tag champs at the same time. Someone's going to do that. Who is it? I don't know, but don't be shocked if they have Oba go over, like they just had him go over on the X Division champ. I know Joe Hendry's the TNA world champ, but like, don't be shocked if they also book their NXT champion to go over whoever TNA's world champ is down the line here at some point, you know. Not saying it'll be Hendry, but I could see Hendry reigning with it, though, till he comes to WWE as well. But this match was, like, again, solid. The crowd was into it. Moose worked his ass off, and Oba's that dude, you know. Moose just worked his ass off to make Oba look really good. So
well, that's a good piece of business. I mean, there's kind of no way around it. I mean, without even seeing it, you can just see it on paper and know it's good. And now also the Undertaker can say that he has more than one black friend, so that that helps him too. You know, when he's like, I swear.
Who's his other one? Well, hold on. Who's his other one, Joey?
The Godfather.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna. I'm dating here, brother.
Imagine if he's sitting there and he was like, well, now I have two black friends. And they're like, well, who's the other guy? Like Oba Femi. You're like, you think Oba Femi's your friend? He's like, yeah, we had that conversation. I gave him some advice. You know what I mean? Like, we're bros now. We're cool. You're like, no, they remember, Mark. They remember.
So Ethan Page took on Javon Evans in a New York City street fight. And this was like this is just chaotic, you know, hardcore stuff. You know, you do one of these at every big event now. That seems to be sort of standard, very Attitude Era-ish, how WWE incorporates a lot of this stuff. And yeah, Ethan Page also had like a stare down with Ricky Saints. So Ricky Saints going to take on Ridge Holland next week, get a big win over like a big gatekeeper heel right off the rip. And it's my belief here, and I called this like 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago. I said it just jokingly. I was like, could you imagine like Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks main event NXT against, I didn't say 2 years ago, but it was like a year ago or something. But I was like, they're going to main event an NXT with Ricky Starks, and they're going to beat Dynamite. And I believe, I don't know if someone can check. Chat can look this up, but when's the next time Dynamite and NXT go head-to-head again? We're going to get Page versus Starks as the main event of that show, and it's going to outdraw Dynamite. And I'm saying this because I've really noticed something. Triple H, he's not so petty with AEW. Shawn Michaels is tremendously, bro. He gets a real kick out of booking these former AEW dudes and showing them how to properly book them. And he gets a kick out of pushing women when everyone's like, women aren't, and he'll let them go out there and do a crazy, like he's training Logan Paul to do Hangman Adam Page's moves. Like apparently Logan Paul's training with Shawn Michaels closely. Who's in his ear being like, doing this Hangman Geeks moves? I know it's Shawn Michaels. Like he's still got that petty bitch in him from back in the day. That doesn't fully go away. So
you'll also notice this, and Meltzer does this because this is how smarks treat wrestlers according to how they like what they do. He calls Triple H Paul Levesque.
Paul and Dwayne. I knew Dewey when he was 8.
But he doesn't respect him as a wrestler.
Doesn't respect either of them.
Yeah, but what does he call Shawn Michaels?
HBK?
Shawn Michaels. Yeah, he doesn't call him Michael Hickenbottom because he likes his work.
Exactly.
And that's how
you pointed that out. That's a brilliant observation.
Yeah. And that's how that's the way that the smart audience uses their language. They see it as like you're running them down by calling them by their shoot name, brother. And HBK doing all of these things, or Mr. Hickenbottom, as we could call him. Yeah. Him choosing to do all this stuff with them is more of a personal dig because they respect his work rate.
Yes. You're right. Like the Bucks mimic their whole off HBK pretty much, and the Hardys. He's like they're a combination of the Rockers and the Hardys. Exactly, because HBK was like the greatest worker. And he's like, well, we told stories in there. So I totally agree with you. That's a great observation. Or I guess we had two different observations that sort of meet in the middle there because it just really lends. I'm gonna point that out next time I'm ranting about this because that makes so much sense as well. With Triple H, he's a guy as well that they're like, oh, he just politicked himself. So when it comes from HBK, it hurts so much more. And I think that's why he teamed up with TNA too, because he's like, well, I'll show you how to do the partnership properly, you idiot. Because remember, Tony Khan talked about WWE and NXT. And think about it. He talked about John Cena and Undertaker being on NXT that one time. And so Undertaker's there with Obafemi, like, defend your yard. And he's working with the young guys. And it's like, you're man. Like now these guys, all these legends are like coming for you now. And you're an idiot. You did nothing to gain their respect either before you talk. Like, at least Eric Bischoff put Vince almost out of business and on his back foot. Like, Tony's never even done that for 1 second.
He basically called out the most brilliantly petty people in professional wrestling.
Right.
And he's afraid of his own shadow.
Yeah, dude.
And he's confused by these consequences. Like, it's like, you can decide, you can say all you want that you didn't like Kevin Nash, but you can't deny the fact that Kevin Nash was clearly a very smart, petty, and knew how to do it. By the way, if you want to know a funny little Kevin Nash connection here, do you remember the story about from Benoit, where Benoit, he went up to him and he looked at him, he's like, oh, that's a nice headbutt you got going there, or whatever it was. He's like, can't wait to kick out of it.
Yeah.
Just to be an asshole to him. Well, in hindsight, Benoit was a mark that took wrestling too seriously. And how did that work out for him?
Yeah, no, you're kind of right about that.
Yeah.
You are. I'm getting a phone call over here. Sorry,
well, that's all right. I mean, dude, I'm a senior citizen, so we can start wrapping up shortly. I mean, we've been.
No. I'm not even trying to wrap up on you. I'm just getting a million calls. Just 1 second here. I'm just texting saying, I can't. This happens every live show. This isn't anything new where I'm always like,
Javon Evans is sending you a message right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, shut up. Quit talking shit about me.
You better not on my match, dude. I'd be like, man, you didn't coordinate. You didn't color coordinate your outfit. What's this? Your red, green, your white. What's this? What is this you're wearing here? Sneakers? What was the choice?
But yeah, so Javon and no, sorry, I was just getting a call, just texting them being like, yo, when I'm done here, sorry. Or I was like, just text me, don't call me. But anyways, though, so Ethan Page, though, this is a solid match. There was some hardcore that went down, and Javon is like 2-1 against Page now. So 50-50-esque booking. While I have your attention, quick plugs. I mean, I'm not selling you other than consider checking out Phil Marks Out, my new channel. If you guys are into like superheroes, pop culture, YouTube drama, you like my sense of humor over here on Phil Marks Out, I just dropped this channel.